Here we will talk about the ACT math test prep topic. So there are a couple of questions we will solve in this video. The first one says if 3 over 4x plus 5 equals 11, what is the value of 5 over 2x minus 16? So here basically we'll start with the first thing that is provided to us, which is 3 over 4x plus 5 is equal to 11. So in order to solve this question, I am provided with two equations. I need to work with these two equations. So first I will find the value of x from the first equation and I will plug it in into the second equation to find the answer. So let us first find x from this equation. In order to find x from this equation, we can see that x is not alone. It's not sitting alone, so it's a little grumpy because there are people bothering him. So the very first person bothering we can see is 3 by 4th is a fraction, another is a whole number plus 5. So what will x do? X is going to get rid of the 5 first. So we subtract 5 on both the sides. Now we have 3 by 4th x equals 11 minus 5, which is 6. Now x is still not alone because 3 over 4 is bothering it. So what will we do? On both the sides, we'll times by 4 by 3, the opposite of 3 by 4. So I multiply by 4 by 3 on this side also because I need to keep the equation same. So this goes away, hence x is alone. We can see x equals 6 times 4, 24. And then there's no number here, so there's like a 1. 3 times 1, which is 3. Now x equals 3 times what will give me 24? 8. I have found out the value of x. I have not found out the value of this equation yet. So that means I'm not done with the question. I still need to solve the question further to find the value of 5 over 2x minus 16. So let's do that on the next page. So it's the continued part of question 1 is continued here, where I'm trying to find 5 over 2x minus 16. Now remember, on the last page our value of x was 8. So we are going to apply this value of x as 8 into the question to find the value of the given expression. So it will be 5 over 2. In place of x, I will put 8 or 8 over 1 minus 16. Now I will multiply whenever I'm multiplying fractions, I need to multiply the top people and the bottom people. So 8 times 5 is 40. 40 over 2 minus 16. Now I can say that 40 over 2, $40 two people, I can have 20 minus 16. 20 minus 16, my final answer is 4, and this will be the answer. So that's your question number 1 under ACT topic. We'll start with question number 2 now, which says, what is the sum of the solutions of the equation The equation is x squared plus 4x minus 45 equals 0. So here we can say that this is a trinomial because there are 3 terms, and it is also a quadratic trinomial because the highest power of x is 2. That means the maximum number of solutions this equation can have could be 2. So what we do basically is we are going to have an idea about solving it. Let us say this is on that section of ACT where calculator is allowed. So if calculator is allowed, you can easily use the polynomial root finder. You can use the polynomial root finder. Another way, if calculator is allowed, you can graph the given function. Now, once you graph it on Desmos or on your calculator, you can actually see where the 2 points could be, and those are your 2 points or the solutions. And then remember, they are not asking you the solution. They are asking you the sum of those two solutions. So whatever answer you get, you need to add them to find your final answer. Now, let us say we are not allowed, a calculator is not allowed on the test, then how will you solve it? So then we are going to now on the next page talk about the algebraic solving of the same question. Without a calculator, how could we find what two places is the graph crossing the x-axis is what we are trying to find out, and then adding them to find the final answer. So let us change the page. I'll write down the equation again on the page here for your reference. So our equation was x squared plus 4x minus 45 equals 0. So whenever a number is not given here, I put a 1 here. Now we are looking at algebraic solving. Algebraic solving, you can either factorize it or find the two factors. You can find the two factors. That is one way to find the answer. The other way is quadratic formula. So you can also do it by quadratic formula, where you have to identify A, B, and C and use that in the quadratic formula to find the answer. Now by looking at it, it looks to me that I can easily solve it using the splitting the middle term or finding the factors. So middle term is 4. I first multiply the first term and the last term. So what do I get after multiplying the first number and the last number? So I can say that it is 1 times negative 45 is negative 45. Now is my thinking part. Think about two numbers in the world, which when multiplied give me negative 45, but which when added give me the middle number. So there are only two numbers in the world that satisfy that condition. And those two numbers are 9 and negative 5. Now let us see how that is possible. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. And if I do 9 minus 5, I get the positive 4, that is the middle term. So once I have thought about my numbers, that I'm sure that these numbers are holding true to the conditions that I have, that they should be adding up to this and they should be multiplying up to negative 45. So these are the two numbers. So I write them down as the factors x plus 9 and x minus 5. Now these are the two numbers. Remember, the factors are equal to 0. That means I'll put each factor equal to 0. So I can say x plus 9 equals 0. And the other part is x minus 5 equals 0. Now why do I say that they are equal to 0? Remember, whenever they are the roots of a function, at this point the value of y is 0. That is why we are equating them equal to 0 to find out at what place are they really crossing the x-axis. So in order to do that, I subtract 9 from both the sides. This is gone. X equals negative 9. Same here, I add 5. I do the inverse operation. So I add 5 on both the sides. This is gone. X equals 5. So here I have found both the roots or both the solutions of the equation. And remember, on the last page, what did they say? They are not telling us to find the answer per se. They are telling us to find the sum of the answer. So let's find the sum of the roots, which is going to be negative 9 plus 5. And the answer will be negative 4 is your final answer. So I'm highlighting it even, darker for you, so you can see that this is our final answer for the given question. All right, let's take a look at the next question, which is question number 3 for ACT. And the question is, if f of x equals 5x cubed minus 2x plus 7, then f of 2 equals what? So this is basically a type of question where it's saying evaluating function. So what you do is you plug in the new value of x is given to be 2. So wherever you have x, because this x has changed to 2 here. So wherever you have x in your question, you just plug in your value of 2. So let us see how our work will now look like. F of x becomes 5 times 2 to the power of 3 minus 2 times, in place of x I put 2, plus 7. Now remember, PEMDAS, I cannot multiply 5 times 2 first. I cannot do that. I need to first multiply or solve the parentheses, which is 2 cubed. So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So I multiply this by 8 minus, now I multiply these two 2's here, 2 times 2 is 4, plus 7. Now let's move on to the next step, which is 8 times 5 is 40, minus 4 plus 7. Next, 40 minus 4 is 36 plus 7. So 36 plus 7 is 43. Hence, our final answer is going to be 43 here. All right, let's move on to the next question. Question number 4, ACT. The question number 4 is saying that the area of a square is 36 units squared, let us say. And then they are asking you to find the perimeter. So first thing is to understand the difference between area and perimeter. So this is the two math words here, area and perimeter. So let us first draw a square that is related to in this question. So area is whenever, let us say we are putting carpet on this square, that will be the area. This part is the area then. And perimeter is basically all around it. Around is perimeter. So I'm writing the spellings of perimeter all around it so you can understand that that is the perimeter. Now here the question says that the area is 36. So area of a square or a rectangle is length times width, but here because length and width are the same, so we can say length times length or side times side. So here side times side for this square is 36. What does that mean? That means we need to first find out the side so we can find out the perimeter. So what two numbers when multiplied give me 36? Now there are different numbers. 12 times 3 is also 36, but I cannot use that. I will only use the numbers which are the same. So I can say that 6 times 6 is 36. And hence I can say that the side of the square is 36 units. Now I'm not done with this question because I have found out the side of the square, but I still need to find the perimeter. So perimeter will be all around how much it is when each side is 6 units. So each side is 6. So I can add up all of them to find the perimeter. So I can say that there are 4 sides. I can do 6 times 4, or I can add 6 4 times to give me the answer, which is 24 units. And because we are adding, so it will not be squared, it will just be units. And hence the answer for perimeter is 24 units for this question. All right, next question. Question number 5 says if f of x equals 3x squared minus 5x plus 8 and f of x equals 36. So two values of f of x are given to us, two expressions. One is 36, other is an algebraic expression. Then they are telling you then x equals what? They are telling us to find the value of x. So because both of these expressions are equal to f of x, this is f of x and this is also f of x, can I put them equal to each other? So I can put them equal to each other because they both are equal. 3x squared minus 5x plus 8 equals 36 because they both are f of x. So now we can see that this is coming up to be a quadratic equation which is not equal to 0. In order to solve it, we need to put it equal to 0. So it is 3x squared minus 5x plus 8. I bring the 36 there and make it equal to 0. Minus 36 equals to 0. Next up, I have 3x squared minus 5x, and then 8 minus 36 is negative 28 equal to 0. Now you have two options from here. In order to solve it algebraically, if a calculator is provided, you can easily use polynomial root finder in your calculator. Polynomial root finder, right? Or you can graph this function and see what two places is it crossing. But what if we don't have a calculator and we have to solve it algebraically? You can do two things. One is you can use the quadratic formula, or you can try to factorize this into two pieces and getting your zeros or solutions from there. So factoring I feel is easier, less time consuming, and time is important on ACT. So we can actually try to solve it using factoring this given equation. So on the next page, let's try to factor this out or break it into two pieces. So let us see what our equation is. Our equation is 3x squared minus 5x minus 28 equals 0. And we are trying to break it down into its two pieces so that we can find out the values of x from there. So remember, what do? We always multiply the first and last number in factoring. And I multiplied negative 28 times 3. So when I multiply negative 28 times 3, I get 84. So I'm having a negative 84, and I'm thinking of two numbers in the world which when multiplied give me negative 84, but which when added should give me the middle term, negative 5. So what could be those two numbers? I can play with these two numbers using the calculator, or think about different numbers in the world which when multiplied give me 84. Now 48 times 2 could be there could be different numbers you could multiply and they give you 84 as the answer. For example, if I divide 84 by 2, I get, let's divide 84 and 2. I get 42. So I can say 42 times 2 is 84. But can I use them? No. Because when I add them, it's not negative 5. So by using different numbers, after using different types of numbers, I have come to this conclusion. You can pause the video and think about the numbers before that. So we are coming to a conclusion that negative 12 and 7 is a pair which when multiplied they give me negative 84. But when I add them, I get negative 5. So these two numbers are actually satisfying the condition we have. So what we do is we just split the middle term as negative 12x plus 7x minus 28 equals 0. So basically I'm writing negative 5 as negative 12 and positive 7, and I'm breaking down the middle term. After breaking up the middle term, I actually break down two pieces initially and two pieces in the end. I separate them. Next step, taking common. What common can I take over here? What can I take common over here is what is something that is with both of them. We know that they both can be divided by 3, and we also know that they both have an x. So x is something I can take out as common. Inside I will have an x because this is 3x squared, minus sign, minus sign. 3 times what is 12? 4. So I can put a 4 here. X was already outside here, so no need to put an x here. Now, what could be a common thing out of this second piece that I have here? I can say that I can take a plus 7 common from here. Inside, I will have x minus 4. Now, one of the factors that is similar is x minus 4, x minus 4. So I put it down only once. The other factor that I take is this piece that was outside, and I put them together as a factor. So this is 3x plus 7. Now in order to find the answers, because they told us to find x, so I'll have two answers for x, and this is a quadratic equation. So you'll see the two answers that we'll be getting. We put both of these factors equal to 0 separately. So I can say x minus 4 equals 0, and I can say that 3x plus 7 also equals to 0. So from here I can have x equals to 4 is one of my answers. And the other answer can be I subtract 7 on both the sides. So 3x equals negative 7, which gives me x equals negative 7 over 3. And these are the two answers that you got for x. And whichever answer is provided to you, you can select that. And here you can see the logic that the power of x was 2. And hence we have the two possible solutions for x. All right, next question, question number 6 for ACT. It says graph the given equation. Graph the equation, find the slope. Now, if they ask you slope, they can also ask you to find the y-intercept at times as well in these type of questions. So let us add y-intercept also. And the question given to us, or the equation given to us, is y equals 3 by 4x minus 3. So in order to graph this function, what we do is we can actually show a rough x and y axis. This is x, f of x axis or y axis, we can say. Now, the easiest way is to actually start with your last number here. If your equation is in the form y equals mx plus b, you can actually take your last number here and you can start graphing from that number. So this is -1, -2, -3. So this is your -3 here under the y-axis, negative of the y-axis. And from that point, I use the slope part. Now remember, the definition of slope is rise over run. So how much am I rising? So I can say rise over run from this question is 3 by 4. So how much am I rising here and how much am I running is I'm going to check. 1, 2, 3. My rise is 3. And then my run is, let's mark some points here. And my run is going to be 4. So I'm running 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my run is 4 here. I got 1 point here, the other point here. And hence my equation or my graph is going to look something like this, which actually proves that the slope is 3 by 4. And I can color this triangle to show the slope 3 by 4. And this is the y-intercept. So this is the slope. And the y-intercept is written, it's -3 on the y-axis, but how we write is like this. Because the x value at this slope -3 is 0, you can see. Hence, that's the answer. All right, question number 7 for ACT is going to be in triangle ABC. Angle A equals 45 degrees. What is the area of the triangle? So let's see the equation first, the diagram first related to the question as to what is provided to us and what do we need to calculate. So this is angle A. Remember, this diagram will be provided in the question on the test. This angle A is 45 and there is a given longer side is also 10 units given to you. This is A, B and C. Now this is a right angle triangle, so we know that this is 90 degrees, correct? So because it's a right angle triangle, one side is 45, one is 90, we can assume that this side is 45. Why did we assume that? We assumed because the sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. That is why this side is 45. Now, remember, there is a theorem in triangle that sides opposite to equal angles are always equal. So, which are the equal angles here? The 45 and 45 are equal angles and the sides opposite to these equal angles are these two sides. So, we can say that this side is x and this side is also x by that triangle theorem. So, we can write down that by Pythagoras theorem, so remember this, we can apply Pythagoras theorem on this right angle triangle. These two sides are x and x. Why they are x? That is by the triangle theorem, that sides opposite to equal angles are always equal. This is the hypotenuse, the longer side of the right angle triangle. Now on the next page, let us see what equation we have from the triangle we had. So we can say that x squared plus x squared equals 10 squared. From Pythagoras theorem, remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is what I'm using to find x. Now x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 2x squared equals 100. Divide by 2 on both the sides. X squared equals 50. So I can say that x equals square root of 50. If I do square root on both the sides, the value of x is going to be square root of 50. Now remember the triangle. The area of a triangle is what they are asking us. So we found out this was square root 50, this was square root 50, and this is 10. Now by the formula for area of a triangle is, the formula is base times height divided by 2. Now here we have the base of the triangle. We have the base of the triangle and we have the height of the triangle. If we write it down into the formula, we have base times height. Height is also the same, divided by 2, which is going to be square root of 50, square root of 50. We can just multiply it together and put it inside the square root symbol, which is 2500 divided by 2. And square root of 2500 is what? 50 by your calculator. So it's 50 over 2, which is 25. Hence the area of the triangle is going to be 25 squared units for this given triangle. This was a very time consuming question, because you had to follow certain steps to find the final answer. All right, question number 8 for ACT. Sally's test scores are 86. So there are a couple of scores we are copying: 93, 79, 82, and 90. So certain tests are provided and the scores are provided to you. And they are asking you a very simple question: what was her average? Her average test score. That means on an average, what was her score? So average, let us write down the definition of average here. Average or mean, both are the same things. Equals, you find the sum of the numbers and you divide by how many numbers there are. So the sum of numbers here is going to be 86 plus 93. These are all her test scores. 79 plus 82 plus 90. So I'm adding the sum, I'm finding the sum of all the test scores and then dividing it by how many test scores do we have. So let's see how many test scores are there total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 test scores are there. Now after adding them in my calculator, I got 430 and then divided by the number of test scores, which is 430 divided by 5, which is 86. Hence her average is 86. That's the final answer. All right. Question number 9. Sarah has taken 6 math tests and has an average score of 85. If she scores 99 on her next math test, this slide will be used to write just the question. On her next math test, what is the average of these 7 tests? So copy the question first and let us see what information is provided to us. They are telling us that she took 6 math tests and her average score was 85. Then she takes another test, the 7th test. Her 7th test score was 99. They are asking us what is the average of all of these tests. So let's start solving this on the next page. Answer 9, which is going to be, we can write down that the formula for average is the sum. We add all the numbers divided by how many we have. So we can say that the average is going to be here the sum of all the tests divided by 7, because she's taking the 7 tests. So for the sum, can I say that her sum can be the sum of the tests from 1 through 6 tests that she takes, and then the 7th test that she takes in the end that was provided to us. Now from here, can I say that average multiplied by 7, average multiplied by 6 will give me the sum of the 6 tests? Because this 6 or the number goes up there, gets multiplied on both the sides. If I multiply it by n, then n times average gives me the sum of the tests. So here I can multiply 6 times, what was the average of the 6 tests? 85. So 6 times 85 gives me the sum of the 6 tests. What was the sum of the 6 tests? If I multiply this, I get 510. That is the sum of her 6 tests. But they are asking us the average of the 7 tests. So we need to add the 7th test into that sum also. Her score was 99. So let's add that. This gives us 609. So the sum of 6 tests is 600, 7 tests is 609. Now we need to find the average of 7 tests. So the average of 7 tests will be the sum of 7 tests divided by the 7 tests that she took. So 609 divided by 7 is 87. Hence, her average on those 7 tests was 87%. Little tricky, because they are not giving you a very direct question, just find the average. They are tricking the question for you, which makes you think as to how to do it, and that's where, they catch you. All right, last question. We are going to take a look at a triangle given to us. Again, this is a long word problem, so let's just on this slide copy the question. Triangle ABC is inscribed in a circle. Segment AB passes through the center of the circle. So inscribed basically means it's inside a circle, that triangle is, and it passes through the circle at point O. What is the area of the shaded region? So here in questions like these, diagram will be provided. So these questions will come with the diagram, and let's draw the diagram on the next page. So let us, before we move on, let us, in order to look at the diagram, let us first take a look at important things that are provided to us. Another thing is that the line segment AB is passing through the center of the circle, very important. And they're asking us the area of the shaded region, that means the region between the triangle and the circle. So let's see how our diagram will look like. We'll have a circle because it's inscribed. The triangle is inscribed in a circle. So our triangle could look something like this. Again, not drawn to scale. So this could be the center of the circle through which, the triangle's line is passing. Now, because they said AB is going through, so I can say this is AB and then this is C. Now, the other thing that is provided in the diagram, which was not written in the question, is that the sides, base and height of the triangle are also provided to us. And they are asking us what is the area of the shaded region. So this shaded region is basically what we are calculating. So from here we can say that the area of shaded region can be area of the circle minus the area of the triangle can be the area of the shaded region. So we know that the area of the circle and triangle, we know those formulas, but before we can actually go to those formulas, I think I lost my diagram here, so let's quickly draw another diagram. So this is AB, the center you can assume, again not drawn to scale, this is AB, and this is C, 8 and 6. Now let us find out this side. Because we know it's a right angle triangle inscribed in a circle, I can say that I can use Pythagoras theorem to find this side. So I can say 8 squared plus 6 squared equals, let us say this is C as per the Pythagoras theorem. This is 64 plus 36 equals C squared. The longer side of the triangle, remember I'm using Pythagoras theorem. 64 plus 36 is 100 equals C squared. So which numbers when I square them give me 100? So those numbers are 10. So I can say that 10 equals C. So I have found all the sides of the triangle and this one is 10. Remember we are trying to find the shaded area, which was written over here that shaded area is area of the circle minus area of the triangle. So area of circle I can write down, it is pi r squared minus what is the area of triangle? Base times height divided by 2. So both the formulas I'm putting here, one is this formula, the other is this one. Now radius, how do I find the radius? We know that this is the AB is the diameter. So this is because this is passing through the center C. So I can say that the radius of the circle is 5. So I can write down 3.14 times 5 times 5 is the area of the circle because the radius is 5. And then I can write it down over here as what are the base and height? Base and height are 8 and 6. So let us highlight the base and height here. This is the base of the triangle. This is the height of the triangle. So I can say 8 times 6 over 2. Base times height divided by 2. This 2 is a part of the formula only. Now after multiplying the pi and the radius squared, I get 78.5 minus 6 times 8 is 48 divided by 2. From here is just basic calculation. It will be 78.5 minus 24, which now gives me 54.5 units squared.